welcome back to the Glendale Arena, where we'd like to welcome La Harpe video viewers watching in La Harpe, Illinois. Making his first start since March 7th. Down to our right, Craig Anderson. Anderson making his 25th appearance of the season, has a 5-10-3 record with a save percentage of 88. And playing his first game in 3 months since November 30th, just called up from San Antonio, David Leneveux will make his 10th appearance of the season. He has a 2-5-2 record.
The officials tonight, the two referees are Kelly Sutherland and Tom Kowal, the linesman Danny Shakti and Brad Lazarowicz. Now the Reinprecht line will open up for Phoenix, the Mark Bell line for Chicago, and we are underway as the draw is controlled by the Coyotes. And Schustrom will shoot it in. Vandermeer checked in behind the Hawk goal. They wrestle on the end boards. It squirts to the near side, and Holmquist gets control for the Blackhawks. And was checked by Doan. This line out there for Phoenix has scored 5 goals in their last 4 games. Reinprecht, Doan, and Schustrom. The play remains in the Hawk end, but finally Bell able to fire it out to center. Well, Lapointe bangs it in. Lapointe against Rivers to the corner, and Rivers able to jam it loose. The Coyotes look to clear, and it does trickle back to center ice. Here's Johnson to the Hawk line. Mike Johnson trying to go up the slot, dropped it far side, quick shot, never got through. And then Kavasha had it jammed off of his blade into the near side, and Johnson for Phoenix chipped it in deep. Kavasha put it back to the near side. Derek Morris walked up the boards with it, but his pass didn't connect with Johnson. Patrick Sharp picked it up, failed to get it out. Following up Bartovich, though, able to roll it to Barnaby. And he has room up the left side to the line. Matthew Barnaby with a weak wrist shot, gloved easily by 22-year-old David Leneveux, and the youngster hangs on to it. What about Yanni's Chevy lineup tonight?
A little bit of a new look already. The starting line of Holmquist, Bell, and Lapointe is a new trio. Cullen plays with Calder and Verbata. Put a little bit of a skill up front with Verbata and Mark Cullen. On defense, Keith and Seabrook will be paired up. Vandermeer, Wisniewski, and Byfuglien and Barinka.
Off the draw, Byfuglien with a shot, didn't get through. Calder had his pass hit the back of the net. He tries again. This went off a skate into the crease. Leneveux had it, lost it, but the Coyotes able to clear it in behind. Oh, it's a control by the home side. Out comes Devereaux. Cleared it to the Hawk line. And a centering attempt picked off. Good positioning by Byfuglien. He broke that play up nicely. Shot it the other way for an icing call.
You always want to have one of your defensemen in front of the net, and that's exactly where Byfuglien was. Barinka playing the right side in this pairing. Byfuglien is the right-handed defenseman playing the left-hand side. When Barinka went into the far corner, Byfuglien stayed in front of the net area. That pass from the far corner into the front of the net, easily intercepted by Byfuglien, and really had no chance to make a play at that point, and just cleared the zone.
Here the Coyotes winning a draw. Johnson to the far corner, ran right into an official. That cost him a turnover, and Barinka put it up the boards. It didn't get out. Held into Johnson. He cuts to the net. A backhand shot and a short side save made by Anderson. Rebound picked up by the Hawks Verbata, and he scoops it to center. Bounce there to Cullen, who will send it in as the Hawks try to complete a change. Ballard back for Phoenix. And Keith Ballard fires a long bank pass to Keith, deflects at center. Now Seabrook sends it back into the Phoenix zone. On the far side, Bork to the corner. Now it's cleared to the near side, and a centering pass from Brown didn't connect. Picked off by Kavasha, sweeping it out to center ice. Seabrook for Brown, tapping it in. Brown and Ballard in behind the Phoenix goal. And it's jammed over to the left side. Kavasha couldn't pick it up. Seabrook did. Deep slot to Keith. His long wrist shot tip. Oh, deflected just over top of that. It might have grazed the crossbar as well. And then it's cleared to center. Hawks shoot it in. Johnson back for the Coyotes. Put it to the far side. A clearing attempt is held in nicely by Wisniewski. Now picked up along the boards by Gratton, just in his first game as a Coyote. He's acquired at the trade deadline. And Vandermeer put into Phoenix territory. Derek Morris. There's a rink-wide pass that winds up deep in the Hawk end. Anderson put it around the boards. And they wrestle in the corner for it. Ricci kicked it loose. And it's picked off by Vandermeer. Into Bartovich on right wing, looking for Holmquist at center. He's unable to advance it. Then it deflects into the Coyote bench. And Troy, one guy we are used to seeing on the ice a lot, and we'll have to keep an eye on Duncan Keith tonight. He, for a couple of days, basically could not keep anything inside him, and has really been hit hard by a flu bug. And he told Trent Yawney on his way into the rink tonight he felt very good, felt a lot better. But a guy who normally is going to be at 24, 25 minutes, I'm not sure he'll be able to give all that tonight. Yawney's message to Keith before this game: keep the shift short. Yeah, and I talked to him just on the bus on the way here too, and I asked him, you know, if he's been getting his rest, and he kind of looked at me like I slept all afternoon. And he's certainly been drained a little bit. He's been trying to get some fluids into himself, and here's a guy that is in great condition. Hopefully that conditioning will kick in a little bit, because he is fatigued. And actually this morning when I looked at him, he was trying to eat some soda crackers just to get something in his stomach. He took 2 IV bags of fluid to try to help provide some sort of energy and lift, because he really has had nothing and been able to stay in for quite a while. Here he is now deep in his own end, looking for Seabrook. Up the left side to Barnaby, and he cleared it to center. And bouncing there to the Coyotes. Schustrom in over the line, but offside was Doan. A late whistle from the linesman, but the play has been blown dead. This is the first game back for the Phoenix Coyotes. They were on a 5-game road trip and actually fared fairly well. Ended up above 500, 3-2. Their last 2 victories in Chicago on Sunday, and then in Columbus on Tuesday, a 5-2 win against the Blue Jackets. Now the draw. McCulloch, fine rookie defenseman for Phoenix, dumps one in. Bufflin fell down to the corner, and now it's jammed along the boards. Coyotes get control. Sanderson, though, in traffic, had it knocked away. And Bravada had his pass deflected center. Calder kicked it along the far side. Rivers shot it back the other way for Phoenix. Chased down by Barinka. Leaving for Dustin Bufflin, who put it up the right side. Verbata has some skating room to center. Then gets the line. Verbata works his way into the far corner, where he's grabbed by Rivers. And Scatcherd in there against Calder. Calder won the puck. Got help from Verbata. Verbata had his pass deflect. And the Coyotes clear it to center ice. Now they work to the Hawk line. Here's McCulloch trying to shoot one. That went off the right pad of Anderson and then deflected to center. Back comes Ballard to the line. Left it for Nash. His long wrist shot, an easy blocker save for Anderson that time. And on the far board, Nash kept it in. But his pass deflects. And the Hawks unable to get it out. Into the near side, and Rene Bourque goes across to Wisniewski, bouncing it to the Phoenix line. Taken by Morris. He cleared it to center. Over the line is a Nash, ringing it in deep. Back of the goal, Ricci against Keith. Ricci won the puck centered. That one just off the mark, but Keith's going to get a penalty. He got too much of Mike Ricci, and the Coyotes will get the game's first power play. We're scoreless early. This is Chicago Blackhawks.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Your guide to the all-new Hyundai Sonata. With the government's highest crash safety rating and standard safety features like 6 airbags, electronic stability control, and active front head restraints. Plus, award-winning quality backed by America's best warranty. All for $3,300 less than Camry. The all-new Hyundai Sonata. Nicely equipped at just $17,995. It's a Hyundai like you've never seen before. Get the all-new Sonata V6 with up to $3,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, Bill stays in a Business King room.
Look at his space.
And feels like a Business King himself.
Multitasking. Chances of me working are remote.
Don't miss the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Duncan Keith gets the first minor penalty of the game in a one-on-one battle with Mike Ricci along the backboards. He grabs in with his free hand, and that's enough to put the arm up.
Off the draw, Patrick Sharp picked it up, able to clear it to center. That hit Shakti and laid there. The Hawks pick it up. In over the line comes Sharp, tries with a let go of wrist shot, but that attempt broken up nicely by McCulloch. And this very good young rookie D-man, McCulloch, up the ice for Phoenix now, trying to settle it, picked up by Kavasha, walked in, shoots, and a save by Anderson. Nice move by Kavasha. With a pass that was at his feet, he wound up with a good scoring chance, kicking it to the stick.
A little bit of a lineup change for the Phoenix Coyotes. Kavasha normally plays center, played with Saprikin for the few games that he has been up here since the trade deadline. He gets adjusted to the far side, playing his offside wing, but this time he gets a puck in and he gets a good opportunity to go one-on-one with Anderson, but Anderson did a nice job to hold his ground on the near post and cover up the rebound.
Now the draw to the Coyotes. Seidenberg moved to the deep slot, put it to the far side. Ballard back to Seidenberg, one-timer, in and out of the glove of Anderson. He got the left pad in the way as well. Hawks are going to get another penalty. There's the puck in the Chicago end. Comrie, a nice drag move, put it back to the line. Seidenberg, his pass picked off by Barnaby, and now the Hawks again will be 2 men short for 71 seconds.
Phoenix Coyotes had that shot come in from the point. Anderson made the original save, and that rebound was right in front of him. Mike Johnson was taking a whack at it, and Wisniewski was just clearing the front of the net and just hammered him from behind, and that's obviously a penalty, but I guess sometimes you got to do that to make sure that the guy doesn't get a second crack at a rebound. Anderson did a nice job of keeping his left pad along the ice and denying that rebound attempt from Johnson.
Oh, a huge opportunity here early for the Coyotes. Here's Rivers now. In the near corner, Sanderson back to Rivers, top of the ring. They play catch. Rivers now with a long one-timer, hit a leg. Nice shot blocked by Seabrook. He backhands off the boards and out of the zone. Now Jeff Sanderson will carry it back over the line. Near side to Reinprecht. Works his way to the corner, then dropped it back to the line. Rivers, near dot to Sanderson. Works it around the end board. Scatchard now picked it up. To Comrie, to Rivers. Now Rivers, a long shot, never got through. Came to the near side. Rivers able to keep it in. Put it to the near dot. Sanderson gave it back to Rivers. Rivers for Doan, a one-timer. That hit a leg. Doan got it back on the far side. Deep slot to Rivers. For Sanderson, one-timer off the side of the goal. Seabrook brings it up the boards. It's held in by Sanderson. Jeff Sanderson now leaves it for Reinprecht, who's centered. Doan lofts it, went right to Rivers. He hacked at it. That shot deflected. Now the first Hawk penalty over. And the puck cleared the other way. One-man advantage for Phoenix for the next 40 seconds.
Brown had a couple nice blocks in there. He leads the forward players on the Blackhawks with 65 blocks. I thought he had a couple in that 5-on-3. Excellent positioning by Brown.
Now the Coyotes still with a man advantage. Morris put it up the near side. Johnson. His pass picked off, and the Hawks able to clear it. Nice work by Gorinka. In time for one more power play rush for the home side. Kavasha to the line, to the deep slot. Here's Comrie. Nice move around to check, moved in, shoots. What a save by Anderson. Rebound to the Hawks, and they're able to clear it out of the zone.
We talked before the game about the one-on-one abilities of Comrie, and he showed at that time, had an opportunity to make a couple nifty moves and get in on Craig Anderson, but Pat, so far Craig Anderson has picked right up where he left off the last couple games in relief that he came in for Hobby Bullen. Kavasha makes a nice play across the zone to Mike Comrie. He does a little toe drag and then tries to go to his backhand and flip it up over the left pad of Craig Anderson. Anderson down, but sensing where that puck was coming from, was in good position.
Well, the Hawk penalties now all over. Both teams are at full strength now, so a terrific PK job. Backstopped by a couple of fine stops from Anderson, and the game remains scoreless. Now a loose puck right in front of the Hawk goal. Hacked at by Gratton, but he shot it wide, and now maybe a 2-on-1 the other way. Here's Holmquist leading him over the line. Fakes, waits, shoots. Tried to set one actually, and Bell is unable to redirect. And then it's cleared back to the Hawk line. Now the Coyotes, Sjöström. Dropped it in his own end. Rivers back to Sjöström up the right side, in over the Hawk line. And the backhand centering pass, it was off the mark, picked off by the Hawks and Verbata. Cleared it back ahead to Cullen, looking for Calder, but the pass was just behind him. Cost him a chance to get rid of a shot. Calder works the near corner for Cullen, a shot. Good save by Lemieux with a glove, and he holds on to it. We're halfway through a scoreless first. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Relax, it's just our shower of savings at Schaumburg Honda Automobiles. Right now, get super spring savings on more than 1,000 new Hondas available every day, including an Accord SC for only $239 a month.
There's only one, Bob Royman.
You owe it to yourself to see us at the Midwest's largest volume Honda dealer. That's Bob Royman Schaumburg Honda Automobiles, just 8 blocks west of Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road.
Chicago, this is the game, Triple H. Watch WWE WrestleMania 22 on Comcast Digital Cable, Channel 801, Sunday night, April 2nd at 6 p.m. live on pay-per-view.
As the leader in broadband technology, Comcast offers faster high-speed internet connections and digital voice. We offer the most innovative broadband technologies in digital cable, like HDTV, DVR, and on-demand, which makes us the one company who delivers the world's most valuable broadband products to keep you informed and in touch with the things you value most. Building the network that connects Chicagoland. Comcast.
Sports Day, weekdays at noon, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
The hottest Blackhawk player gets a quick shot off. Lane Heview flashes some leather on that one, but Mark Cohen with 8 shots in that last game. Let's see a good scoring attempt here early in the first period.
Now Mara from his own zone for the Coyotes. It's cleared to center. Sjöström turned back for it. And now it's cleared deep into the Hawk zone. Back of the goal, Sjöström. Put it out to the line. Mara, his long shot never got through. Bouncing around in the goal mouth, then kicked into the corner. And it's picked up by Mara, who's in deep. Now works to the front of the net. Here's a shot and a save rebound. He scores! Oh, Mara walked from the near corner right to the front of the net and got 2 whacks at it. Wow, nobody even got a piece of him. Mara from point blank range on his own rebound makes it 1-0.
Paul Mara is having just a tremendous year for the Phoenix Coyotes. 6'4", 210, former first-round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning. In 1997, he goes right to the front of the net and he uses his size to his advantage. That's his 15th goal of the season. That's a career best. He had 10 goals back in 2000, 2002, 2003. One behind Freddie Olofsson for the franchise record. Freddie Olofsson had 16 goals back when I was playing in Winnipeg in '93.
So the Coyotes able to grab the lead. And here's the draw now. Wisniewski put it over the line, then that rush broken up and scattered the other way. Sends it in, Devereaux to the near corner. Devereaux grappling with Wisniewski, and then it's jammed loose to Barnaby. He's unable to get it out. But following up was Sharp. He did, and out comes the Hawk rush. Here's Sharp dropping it into the slot. Here's a driving score. The Hawks have tied it up. An NHL goal for James Wisniewski, his first. And he fired a rocket up over the glove of Lemieux. The Hawks have come right back and tied the game at 1.
Well, this is a double drop pass. A couple Phoenix Coyotes got caught deep in the Blackhawks zone. And on this rush, Bartovich dropped the puck to Patrick Sharp, and he dropped it again to James Wisniewski. And Wisniewski had good patience, walked into the top of the slot, and then beat Lemieux to the top glove, and he scores his first NHL goal. And if you remember, Pat, his first shot this year was when he came out of the penalty box, got a breakaway, and on his first attempt, he didn't even get a shot on it because it went off the crossbar and didn't go in the net, but this is his first NHL goal.
So after the Coyotes grabbed the lead 44 seconds later, the kid Wisniewski ties it up for Chicago. Now off the draw, Comrie in the Hawk zone, roll it up the far side. That is deflected, and here come the Hawks away. In over the line, might be a 2-on-1. Here's Bochenski going right in with a shot, and a save by Lemieux. Brandon Bochenski had a partial breakaway from center ice in, and Lemieux able to beat him. Bochenski now works the corner, then it's jammed loose in behind to Bourque. Rennie Bourque to the near side with it. Put it out to the line, Barinka. Flipped it in deep. Rivers tipped it over to the far board, and now the Coyotes come away. Johnson or Comrie over the line. Mike Comrie had it knocked away. Nice stand-up play by Barinka that time. And now the puck back into the Phoenix zone. Seidenberg couldn't catch up with it. Holmquist did. Oh, but Holmquist drilled to the ice by Seidenberg with a crunching hit along the boards. Now Mara scooped it back into the Chicago zone. The race is on for icing. And the whistle sounds. That was a big collision as the race was on for the icing call. And now the gloves are off. Mark Bell and the kid who's just been called up for Gratton, or just came up in the after being acquired at the trade deadline, and what a slugfest. Bell and Gratton, and Bell with two big right hands. Then Gratton got it right in. And these two have each landed several big ones. Bell and Gratton have good hold of one another, and now a wild right from Bell grazed the head. And Bell got another right in, then a short left. Gratton looking to land a right. He got one to the side of the head. And then Bell to the left. Oh, and he tattooed him right on the bridge of the nose. And then Gratton tries to switch to the left, but he missed. And Bell says, "How do you like me now?"
Wow! That's the best fight I've seen Mark Bell have, I think, in his NHL career. He goes up against Josh Gratton, who in 53 games down with the Philadelphia Phantom had 265 penalty minutes, and you knew that he was going to get involved. This is his first game in a Coyote uniform, and Mark Bell just tattooed him with 3 or 4 wicked rights and then switched to the left. Holy Dinah.
And I tell you what else you like about this, Troy, is why it happened. It happened because there was a race for an icing call. The Hawk player was had the liberties taken with him, and Bell says, "No, not with this group. You're not going to get away with that."
And it was Vandermeer who got knocked down, so you knew Vandermeer could get up and protect himself, but Bell jumped right in. It was Tyson Nash and Josh Gratton, and these guys just went at him. And I think Mark Bell probably might get an instigator on this, but you know what? I don't even care about the instigator. This is the absolutely right thing to do. As Tyson Nash was taken out on the icing, or Vandermeer was taken out by Nash and Gratton on that icing call. Vandermeer had to go back and do the touch-up. But this was just a wicked dust-up. And Mark Bell, boy, he just landed a couple huge rights. Mark Bell getting a kick out of it after. He knows that that's a good one. That's just a that's a good dust-up. Holy.
And you love the fact that it was because Vandermeer was run by 2 guys, Gratton being one of them. And Vandermeer would have done that for any of his other teammates that were taken advantage of in that same way.
Absolutely, and you know that Jim Vandermeer would have been the first guy up and went right after Gratton if he had the chance to do it, but Mark Bell jumped in before. And I'm sitting up here, Pat, and I'm kind of getting involved in the fight. I was into that one so much. Oh.
It's a 5-on-5 situation here now, and the penalties are offsetting. Well, the plays back into the Phoenix zone. Rivers rings it around. And it's cleared back into the neutral area. Then it's a check on Barinka. It's taken away. Here's a chance. Open net for the Coyotes, and they now lead. Shane Doan, after Barinka was forced into a turnover, Doan makes the Hawks pay with an easy tap-in. It's 2-1.
He gets in all alone. You mentioned a little bit of a turnover. Doan walks in and he scores his team high 26th goal. Makes a nice little check and then gets a return pass right in front of the net. Anderson going from his left to his right, gets beat by the deke. Nifty little backhand pass by Reinprecht to set Shane Doan in all alone. Shane knows what to do when he gets in that close. He had the game winner on Sunday against the Blackhawks on a muff shot by Nikolai Habibulin. He gets his 15th point in his last 11 games.
He's got his 26th of the season, scored by number 19, Shane Doan.
Now off the draw, the Hawks ice it, so the whistle sounds with 6 minutes remaining in the first. It's Phoenix 2, Chicago 1. This Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Miller Genuine Draft. Enjoy the golden rich flavor of Miller Genuine Draft. It's beer grown up.
It may start with the look. It may start with the sound. It may start with the feel. It may start with the drive. Or it may just start with a great offer. Visit your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a special lease offer through Mercedes-Benz Financial on the 2006 C230 Sports Sedan. Visit your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
On the field of battle, it is impossible for the brave to advance alone. It's everyone's game.
Chicago Tribune Live, presented by your Chicago Land and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Right now, as members of Best Western Speed Rewards, stay 6 nights and earn a free night and earn points towards exclusive NASCAR licensed merchandise. Join today at bestwesternracing.com/free night.
Get in now with affordable season ticket plans. Call 312-943-HAWK or visit chicagoblackhawks.com for more information.
Here's the draw now in the Chicago zone. Seabrook brings it up the board. This one held in momentarily, but then Sharp picked it up. Got it to Barnaby. Whose pass is picked off. Doan for Schuster. He's hit hard and leveled, but then Doan carried on. Works it over the Hawk line. Made a drop pass. Reinprecht spins to the boards with it. And a pass deflected away from Ballard. Picked up by Duncan Keith. He had a problem with Doan, who nearly stole it. Finally Sharp able to bang it out of there. This one is going to go the length for no icing. They say the Coyotes could have played it, I guess.
No icing.
Hawks were heading for a change, and we're glad that they're allowed to make it. Now up the left side, Bork. And it's stripped away at center. And they wrestle forward along the boards. Rolled back into the Phoenix zone. Mara gives chase. Fires it around all the way back into Chicago ice. And another race for icing. Vandermeer will touch it up, and I don't think anybody's going to run him this time. He's back to touch up for the whistle.
Man, I'm actually a little surprised that Mark Bell didn't get an instigator coming into that scrum in defense of Jim Vandermeer. And obviously we talked about he doesn't need any defense, but what a great showing by Mark Bell to stick up for his teammates at the appropriate time. And to me, it shouldn't be an instigator, because when something like that happens, that hit is the instigation. That starts an altercation. So Mark Bell with just a tremendous bout with Josh Gratton. Wow.
Now here's a long shot, redirected. Good save by Leneveu after it was tipped. On a point shot from Vandermeer. Back of the goal goes Mara. Chipped it to the near side as he was leveled. Picked off by Calder. That hit back of the goal was made by Lapointe, who's got the puck now. Marty Lapointe tried to send him a quick shot. Holmquist, they score! Lapointe's big hit started all off, and then he made a good pass to Holmquist, who fired it home, and we're tied at 2.
This has been a very entertaining, physical, exciting game so far. We've had a huge scrap. We've had some really nice individual plays, some good physical hitting all over the place. Marty Lapointe goes in and he just levels Paul Mara behind the net, picks up his own puck, throws it out to Holmquist in the high slot. And the one thing that Holmquist did, Pat, is he was backing out away from that pass so he could create a little bit more space. If he was in tight, he would have been checked. He backed out into the high slot area, took that pass in one motion, fired it down low on the ice, beating Leneveux between the legs, I think. His stick might have been off the ice, but that's a great play by Marty Lapointe, who again makes his physical presence known on the ice, and it results in that goal.
Blackhawks goal is 9th of the season.
The third goal in the last 6 games for Michael Holmquist, his 9th of the year.
At number 19, Kyle
Calder and Lapointe will get the assist. And it's a 2-2 battle here in the Valley of the Sun as the Coyotes now move in offside.
Michael Holmquist actually is getting rewarded for his play as of late, thrown up into the starting position with Bell, who obviously is out with that 5-minute major in that fight with Grattan. Bell, Holmquist, and Lapointe really put together to start this game. Trent Yanni really feels that Holmquist deserves a good opportunity. He's +4 in his last 11 games coming into this contest against the Phoenix Coyotes, and he makes the coach look pretty good in that situation.
Now Barenka, and a good backhand pass to center. Here comes Barnaby. Gets the line, threw it in deep. And Barnaby sent it to Sharp. Wide open in front. Good save by Leneveux as Sharp was in so tight he did not have a lot of room to work with. But Leneveux able to come up with a point-blank stop. Now Barnaby in the far corner. Threw it to the late man. Holmquist coming on a change. He dropped it back. Wisniewski long shot deflected up over the glass, out of play.
This is a good shift by this line. Holmquist came on the tail end of it, picked up another pass from Matthew Barnaby. Barnaby had sent one in, little chip into the corner that Bardovich had gone in, thrown back to Barnaby along the near boards, and then he threw it out to Patrick Sharp in front of the net. And as you mentioned, it was a little bit too close for Sharp to really do anything on Leneveux in tight. But then Matthew Barnaby ended up going back, getting the puck again, getting the puck to Wisniewski, who fired a good shot on.
Here's a save by Leneveux, then Lapointe hacked it, a rebound off the side of the net. And the Coyotes' Devereaux able to come away with it. Here's it to Scatchard on right wing over the line. Centered one. That goes through to the far corner. And they work along the boards. Wisniewski unable to advance it. Now Jeff Sanderson for the Coyotes. Rolled it in deep. The puck deflecting to Vandermeer. He has room to work it back to center. The Hawks dump it in, heading for a change. Dave Scatchard moved it to the neutral area. 2.5 left now in an eventful first period. The game tied at 2. And now as Bochenski tries to drive to the net, he's going to draw a Phoenix penalty. Oh, Brandon Bochenski, who had a breakaway earlier that was denied. Now a determined effort to get to the goal will send the Hawks to the power play.
You're absolutely right when you say an eventful first 20 minutes of play. Bochenski goes in, and Derek Morris, the newest, highest paid Phoenix Coyote, who just signed a 3-year contract extension that will make him the highest paid Phoenix Coyote next season after this year, takes a holding penalty, and the Blackhawks will get their first opportunity on the power play with 2.5 minutes to go in the first period.
Now the draw to the near point. Vandermeer goes across to Seabrook. A long wrister, never got through, deflected up into the air, and the glove of Leneveux there to snare. And he'll look at a face-off to his left. The Blackhawks so far this year, 42 power play goals, the low mark in the league. They have had 346 chances. That's lower than any other team in the NHL. The next lowest is Florida at 353. But this particular special team, a season-long problem as far as the Hawks' fortunes are concerned. There's 42 power play goals they've scored. Here's a save by Leneveux, rebound to Holmquist, whose shot is deflected into the crease, and Leneveux covers it up. The Hawks with 42 power play goals. The next lowest number in the league is 53 power play goals, which is owned by Florida.
In the first 3 games of this 4-game series, which the final game is tonight, both teams have scored 2 power play goals. Mark Bell, who usually is playing the point as a one-timer, is sitting out that 5-minute major, so Vandermeer takes his spot.
And rolled it up the near side. Sharp able to get to it. Then was sandwiched, and Seidenberg then was checked by Calder, who took it away. Rolled it over to the far side. Seabrook at the line. Near point to Vandermeer. Jim Vandermeer sends it up the boards. Sharp. Hawks working the perimeter here. Sharp scooped it in behind. Kyle Calder back of the net. His centering attempt to flex to Vandermeer. He finds Seabrook. Out of the far side, Cullen. Then to Vandermeer, whose long shot sticked away by Leneveux. Picked up by Sharp with an ear board. Rink wide to Seabrook. Deep slot to Vandermeer. Went out of the zone. Hawks will need to regroup. 40 seconds left in the Chicago power play. Here's a Vandermeer over the line. Battles toward the slot. Picked it up on his backhand. Shoot. And a save by Leneveux. And he holds on to it.
Vandermeer made a couple nice moves to get in from the point. Faked the shot to start with, and then went in around one of the Phoenix Coyotes defenders. And then really didn't have a lot to do. He was jammed at that point on his backhand. Couldn't turn around and take the shot. There was too many guys converging onto him. He shoveled the backhand into Leneveux, hoping for some kind of a rebound, but nice save by Leneveux not to allow one.
Now the draw picked up by Mara. The Hawks will have to chase back. We're into the final minute of the first period now. Time for another power play rush here for Chicago. Keith leads him up the ice. Mishandled it, had to turn back. Now Duncan Keith hammers it in there. Mara picked it up, sends it up the boards, held in by Wisniewski. Rink wide to Keith near point. Up the boards to Bork, and again to Keith. Back of the goal now, Bork. Sent one, Barnaby, quick shot. He missed the net by a couple of feet. The Phoenix penalty over. Both teams at full strength. Barnaby back of the goal. Looking for help out in front, tried to center. That one picked off. And Morris rolled it to the neutral zone. They'll dump it in from there. As the clock winds down here in the first. Duncan Keith fires a long pass to Bork. 4 seconds, gets over the line. Bork trying to beat a check, and Rivers able to break up the attempt. And that will finish the first period. Well, we had it all in the opening 20 minutes tonight. Pretty good goaltending at times at either end, but 4 goals scored. The first by Mara for Phoenix. Wisniewski tied it up for the Hawks 44 seconds later, and then a titanic battle between Mark Bell and Josh Gratton. And Bell, a one-sided victory in that one, and Holmquist able to get the Hawks' second goal on the board at the end of 20 minutes of play. We're tied at 2. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
On April 2nd, history will be made on the South Side as the White Sox unveil their 2005 championship banner. And only Comcast Sportsnet will show it to you live. Join Pat Boyle and Kerry Sayers for a special 1-hour edition of Land Rover Sports Night. See the entire banner ceremony as it happens and hear from the Sox before they begin the quest to repeat. Don't miss a special Land Rover Sports Night, Sunday, April 2nd at 6, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Now when you need it most. Introducing Singular Video, featuring scenes from The Sopranos and other HBO entertainment. HBO Mobile, only on Singular. Singular, raising the bar.
When design impacts performance, performance returns the favor. the 6-speed, 298-horsepower G35. Behold, the shape of performance. Infinity, a line has been drawn. Now lease the Infinity G35 sedan for $359 per month.
Hello again, everyone. Mark Shanowski back in our Comcast Sportsnet studio. Our post-game live crew standing by to break down the first period, but first, a look at the day's top sports stories. We start with Bears cornerback Jerry Azuma retiring from football because of neck and hip injuries he suffered over the past 2 seasons. Azuma played 7 years, making the Pro Bowl back in 2003. At a press conference today, Azuma joked with reporters and looked completely at peace with his decision.
It's not a sad day. It's a good day. You know, I had a lot of fun, a lot of success, a lot of ups and downs throughout my time in the NFL, but it's been a wonderful experience. Just playing for a storybook tradition has been incredible, and it's something I'll never forget.
The Bulls are back on the practice floor preparing for their game against the Hornets tomorrow night. Bulls still mathematically alive in the race for the last Eastern Conference playoff spot. They're 3.5 behind Philadelphia with 14 to play. But Scott Skiles wishes this team had the same qualities as last year's.
It's a different team every year, and you know, even though you want to try to have some continuity, that's just a fact of this business. And you know, we've had too many games this year when it's got tight that we went the other way instead of the way we need to go, which is digging in, getting stops, getting baskets, and it happened to us again last night.
That's going to do it from here. Josh Morris, Steve Conroy, and Jim Blaney will break down the first period after a short timeout here on Comcast Sportsnet. 2-2 after 1 period.
Ice Age, The Meltdown. Rated PG, March 31st.
Life comes at you fast. Be smart. Invest with Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
Some things we just can't help you with. But if you need a tux for the prom, we have rentals starting at just $50. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Where you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there. United. It's time to fly.
Welcome back to the studios. Blackhawks and Coyotes tied at 2 after the opening 20 minutes from Phoenix. I'm Josh Moore along with Steve Conroy and Jim Blaney. In the second half of that period, it was just chock full of stuff. So let's get right to the highlights because the scoring started 11 minutes and 15 seconds in. It was the same guy who scored the first one on Sunday when these teams met.
Paul Merritt, a defenseman, coming down, and it's almost a situation no one wants to take him because then they're going to be giving up the guy they're covering, and he just gets too many whacks at it. You see the first save by Anderson, wide open net on the second attempt.
But just 45 seconds later, the Blackhawks get the equalizer. First career goal for James Wisniewski.
The Polish Prince cashing in. He's a hero in Chicago. Usually 2 drop passes get you in trouble, but Wisniewski just buries this thing.
A good shot over the rookie David Lemieux, but a couple of minutes later, the Coyotes take the lead. This is 2 veterans on 3 kids.
Yeah, Baranka going to the backhand, and bad things happen sometimes when you're on the backhand. It jumped on him, he lost the puck, and then Wisniewski's back, tries to play the 2-on-1 in the right spot, but a perfect backhand feed, and another easy goal for Phoenix.
Craig Anderson just a little bit out of position. We talked about that on the pregame show, how he sometimes slides past his mark. Hawks get it back about a minute and a half after that. A good hit by Marty Lapointe sets it up.
And remember that all this got started, the physical play by the Blackhawks after the Mark Bell fight, and this is what happens when you're physical. Marty Lapointe goes to the end board, makes a hit, gets the puck. Michael Holmquist between the rings, nobody between him and the goalie, pops it in for his 9th of the year.
Lapointe and Calder the assist there. Sharp and Bardovich with the assists on Wisniewski's goal. 2-2 after 1. The shots on goal 12-10 in favor of the Blackhawks. One other thing we've got to point out, a huge fight, one of the biggest of the year, between Mark Bell and Josh Gratton, who is acquired from the Flyers, and this is his first game for the Coyotes.
And you know, this is his job with the Phantoms. He was a fighter, and I'll tell you what, Mark Bell involved and handles himself very well. In fact, wins this fight. Obviously giving up a few pounds to Josh Gratton, who's a cousin of Chris Gratton, and momentarily gave the team a bit of a lift.
There's a lot of people who want fighting eliminated in hockey. I am not one of them. This was good stuff. Bell landed some bombs. Let's see how Mark Bell comes out and plays the rest of the way.
It's necessary when a player gets taken advantage of, as Gratton tried to do to Jim Vandermeer. That's what set this whole thing off. 2-2 is the score after 20 minutes. We'll be back for more analysis after the second. After this, we'll get you back after the game with Pat and Troy.
I mean, the reason Josephine...
You don't have enough minutes. Don't answer this. You don't have enough minutes.
What?
Don't answer
is
this.
that?
Oh, it's just my new ringtone. It's a reminder. No minutes. Don't answer. No minutes. Don't answer.
Need more Anytime Minutes? Right now, get 1,500 nationwide Anytime Minutes for only $45 a month. Plus, get free Call Me Minutes. U.S. Cellular. We connect with you.
In leadership, no word is more important than trust. You can trust Chevy, the brand more Americans choose.
See why during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event, like Silverado half-ton work truck with better half-ton fuel economy than Ford F-150. Get a 2006 Silverado half-ton regular cab two-wheel drive work truck, starting at $16,715. Or get it for less during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Test drive the most impressive sports sedan of the year today.
Take advantage of 2.9% financing on the BMW 325i now until March 31st.
Next on Crisis America, overpopulation. Two's company, 300 million's a crowd. People are living longer. Experts blame Swedish automaker Volvo in their obsession with safety. Volvo's 50 years in America sales celebration can only make things worse. With a $385 per month, 36-month lease on a Volvo XC90 2.5T and for a limited time, free Bluetooth on XC models. Volvo remains unapologetic. One need only read their slogan to know why.
McDonald's Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet.
Troy Murray back at the Glendale Arena, where after a very entertaining first 20 minutes of play, we find the Phoenix Coyotes and the Blackhawks tied up at 2. And my first intermission guest is James Wisniewski. James, it doesn't get much more exciting in that first 20 minutes of play. A very good period. Did the game plan work to your advantage in that first 20?
Well, I guarantee you the game plan wasn't to give up 2 goals in the first period, but you know we bounced back well and capitalized on our chances and tied the game up.
When you get a chance to talk to your grandkids and explain how you scored your first NHL goal, how's it going to go?
I think it's just came out to be a 4-on-3, and I jumped up in the play, and Sharpie was about ready to shoot the puck, and I was yelling my head off, so I just came down and I shot the same spot as I did in St. Louis, but I hit the crossbar in St. Louis, and tonight it went crossbar and in, so I couldn't be more excited.
Well, I know you're excited. That first goal is always going to be a big memory in the way that you see your future in the National Hockey League. And talk about the fight that you saw in that first 20 minutes of play. I know earlier in this year in the American Hockey League, you fought Josh Gratton, and you know how tough he is. Mark Bell comes in defense of Jim Vandermeer, who certainly doesn't need any defense on his own behalf. But when you see that as a player, what do you think when you're sitting on the bench?
Well, you know, that's just team chemistry right there, and it just shows how close our team is. You know, we've been struggling a little bit in the win column this year, but you know, as a group, this team's so close, we get along so well, and it just shows, you know, you can't do that to anybody. And, you know, how tough Jimmy is, it doesn't really matter. And, you know, Josh Gratton's, you know, as tough as they come, and Mark Bell did a great job. And, I mean, it was a very entertaining fight, kind of similar to one earlier this year, and just, you know, it was good for Mark.
It looks like you're gonna stick up here for the last 15 games of the regular season. What impression do you want to make on the Blackhawks before you head back down to Norfolk?
I just want to show that, you know, I work hard, keep working hard, and, you know, fit into this in this organization, and, you know, show all the pride that the Chicago Blackhawks have been giving for, you know, original 6 teams. So that's pretty much it.
All right, thanks, James, and again, congratulations on your first NHL goal.
Thank you, Troy.
Second period action coming right up.
Yeah, you know the spot.
Right away, sir.
Welcome to Giordano's. Your table's ready.
Thank you.
How's everything?
Fantastic.
What's your secret?
It's the fresh ingredients, and it's been so for the last 30 years.
We made it good. You made it famous.
The signs all point to one thing. It's Toyota's premier event. While you're there, check out the Toyota cars. With great deals going on now. You can get $500 customer cash on the sporty Corolla or the truly unique Matrix. While you're there, check out the all-new, bigger, more powerful RAV4 with an available 269 horsepower V6. Now's the time to get the best deals on the new Toyotas. Toyota's premier event is on. Don't miss it. Toyota, moving forward.
Beating up the right side for Romeo. Kyle Calder picked it up. He scored! Hawks win 2-1 Chicago. He scored! The race is on. Cutting to the net. He shoots. He
When it comes to planning for the future, trust Country Insurance and Financial Services to keep you moving in the right direction. With down-to-earth, straightforward advice, Country Insurance and Financial Services is always there to keep you on the right path. Country, real answers for real financial security. For your family, for you, for a lifetime.
This is our country.
Get complete sports coverage every night on Jim Beam Sports Night. Coming up tonight after Blackhawks post-game live, Bears cornerback Jerry Azuma retires, and Sox outfielder Scott Podsetnik returns to the lineup. Join Mark and Gail for Jim Beam Sports Night tonight, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Phoenix. The Blackhawks with the Coyotes in a 2-2 battle as we get ready for the second period. Greg Anderson to our left for Chicago, and the youngster Lenevue to our right. Meanwhile, Mark Bell will get a chance to play again. He was given an instigator penalty in that altercation. 2-5 and a 10-minute misconduct. But the guy who really instigated the whole thing, Gratton, with a boarding call. That's why there was no odd man situation after the altercation. But 17 minutes in penalties for Mark Bell, and there's nobody wearing a white sweater tonight who doesn't think it was well worth it.
No, that's the absolute right thing to do for Mark Bell, and you know what? I don't like that instigator penalty just for that reason, because you go in defense of one of your teammates and they call that the instigator, but the instigation that starts the altercation was the boarding call on Josh Gratton.
Now the Coyotes. Schustrom on the left wing boards is checked by Bartovich. The Coyotes able to come out with it. Ryan Craig chipped it in. Doan against Keith on the end boards. Shane Doan works it loose to the near corner. He's down there by Bochenski, but he failed to get it out. Doan rolled it into the near corner. Now Comrie got it knocked away. Patrick Sharp unable to advance it, though. The centering pass from Doan was picked off, but again it's held in, this time by Ballard. Into the far corner goes Comrie. He left it there. Ballard's way in there deep from his defense position. And it was checked by Seabrook, although able to hold it in. A centering attempt picked off, and Bartovich finally able to get it out of the zone. And the Hawks desperately in need of a change as the Coyotes start up the ice. They're going to get caught. Here's a 2-on-0 breakaway. Comrie stick and a shoot, and he missed the net. It was a 2-on-0 breakaway, and Comrie didn't even get a shot on goal out of it as the Hawks badly caught it at change. Back comes Calder to the other end shooting. Lemieux, a shoulder stop. Able to hang on to it.
Yeah, I would venture to guess that is not a good change. When two Phoenix Coyotes go in all alone, Comrie and Johnson. Derek Morris picked up the puck inside his own zone, and on a terrible change by the Blackhawks, Comrie and Johnson go in 2-on-0. Comrie faked like he was going to pass across to Johnson and then tried to stick handle to his forehand, but badly fumbled the puck and didn't even get a shot on net.
Right now in the neutral zone, picked up by Wisniewski. James Wisniewski, who earlier had his first NHL goal. And just his 8th game in the league. Now it's cleared to center. Mara broke it up. And Comrie now circles back into his own end. Tried to clear it, didn't get out. Held in by the Hawks. Now we're going to have a penalty coming up. And a high sticking call will be whistled here, I believe. This may be against the Hawks. It is.
It's on Curtis Brown. He had the puck and he tried to chip it into the corner. I'm not sure. I think it might have been Comrie who came in to finish his check on Curtis Brown, and Brown got his arm up in the face of Comrie, and it's going to be a high sticking call on Brown. He'll have to sit for a couple.
Blackhawks penalty to number 37, Curtis Brown. 2 minutes for high sticking.
So the Coyotes had 2 power play chances in the first.
Brown, 2 minutes high sticking at 2:22.
Shut out on both of those, and now here they come with their third. Here's a lead pass for Sanderson, nearly able to split video. A great poke check at the last moment by Seabrook, who was caught flat-footed. He was about to be beaten, but prevented a shot with a great sweep check. And the Hawks able to get control and clear it. Now Sanderson quickly back over the line. Flipped it in deep. Scatchard wins the puck in the near corner. Left it for Kavasha. Goes to the far point. Morrissey sent one tip. Scatchard's deflection went up high and then off the glass. Anderson able to reach behind his goal and glove it and hold.
Jeff Sanderson, who had the earlier chance, looking for his 23rd goal of the season. He has 10 goals in the power play this season. And twice in his career, Pat, has Jeff Sanderson scored 40 or more goals, and 6 times he's been over the 30-goal mark. So here's a guy 8 games shy of 1,000 games played in the National Hockey League, still continuing to put the puck in the net.
Now the draw taken by the Coyotes. Mara still on their power play for another 110. Now Reinprecht looking from the near board. Moves to the corner with it. Put it in behind Doan. Tried to center. That one was shot off the side of the goal. Now picked up by Reinprecht for Doan. He had it stripped away nicely by Vandermeer, hammering around the boards. Good play by McCulloch to keep it in there. Now Schustrom on the far side. Put it in deep for Reinprecht. He was checked but able to hang on to it. Reinprecht looks to center. He missed McCulloch with a pass. And the Hawks able to pick it up with Bork up the left side. Gains the line around McCulloch, cutting in, fires, and a toe save made by Lemieux. And it's cleared ahead for Doan. He was checked by Bufflin as he got over the line. Bufflin wrestles in the corner. He picked it up. Hey! Cleared it down all the way. Now the Coyotes with one more power play rush. Seidenberg dumping it in. Duncan Keith put it around the boards. It deflects. And a diving Bufflin able to sweep it to center ice. And that finishes the Chicago penalty. Now both teams are at full strength. And Seidenberg comes out of his own zone. This pass deflecting to Bufflin, who tried to go to D. That pass a weak one, nearly picked off. Over to the far corner goes Kavasha. Now got help from Comrie. It was knocked away by Barnaby. And the Hawks now get reorganized from their own end. Long pass for Barnaby in on the left side. Tees it up, fires, and a good pad save by Lenevieux. Back comes Kavasha for Comrie over the line. Comrie threw it in behind the net. Barinka rings it around. It didn't get out. McCulloch put it into the near corner. And Wisniewski hit hard as he cleared it out of the zone. Now he and Nash are going to go. Wisniewski and the gloves off. Nash just trying to hang on. Wisniewski with a couple of short shots. And Nash doesn't want to get at arm's length from this guy. Tyson Nash is wrestled down to the ice by Wisniewski. And so we'll have a couple of more infractions handed out here.
Well, James Wisniewski, that's his first NHL fight, and we've been told by Trent Yanni that this kid can downright throw with both hands. He is a boxer, and he fought Josh Gratton earlier in the season in the minor leagues. He wants a piece of Nash, but Nash got in tight and really didn't allow Wisniewski to get him out there, and then he certainly, as you mentioned, Pat, wasn't going to allow Wisniewski to get away from him. Wisniewski won that fight against Gratton down in the minor leagues, and Trent Yanni wanted him to be a little bit more aggressive, and when Tyson Nash comes and takes a run at you, you got to respond to it. So good job by James Wisniewski.
Coincidental fighting majors given out to those two, and now it's dumped into the Hawks zone. Anderson put it up the far side. Ricci had it knocked away, and the Hawks come out. Here comes LaPointe trying to center one up on the play. Bufflin with a backhander and a save by Lenevieux. Dustin Bufflin, a fine read, was set up with a point-blank chance as it turned out.
Oh, Lenevieux comes up with a nice save there. Bufflin takes that opportunity to jump right down the middle. He takes a pass from Calder, and he gets right in on the doorstep of Lenevieux, but Lenevieux, who is getting rewarded for his play down with San Antonio, just called up after a long, lengthy 3-month stay down in the minor leagues. Comes up with a big save, and actually, Pat, we saw Lenevieux earlier in the season in Chicago in a 2-1 loss where he was very, very good. 34 saves in that game November 6th. If you remember, it was Seabrook's second game-winning goal of the season in overtime that was the difference.
Reinprecht gets the line. Was ready to shoot, decided to look around. That broke up that rush. They wrestle in behind the Hawk goal. Doan digging it out. Shane Doan, one of 3 20 goal scorers on this Phoenix team, got help from Reinprecht. He walked out in front, couldn't pull the trigger, turns behind. Steven Reinprecht left it there. Schustrom comes out toward the far dot. Had to leave it there for Reinprecht. His drop pass is deflected, held in though by the Coyotes. Now Reinprecht had it knocked away, and Bochenski cleared it to the Phoenix line. Brown looking for a little help. Got it from Bochenski, who rolled it loose. Bork from the far corner. Danced through a check. Oh, but couldn't pull the trigger, running into some traffic. And Morris took it away, clearing to center. The Hawks hammer it back in there. On the near side, Bork. Lenny Bork ringing it around. Scatchard was checked. Finally, it is captured by the Coyotes. Morris. And then Ballard will work back to the Hawk line. Ballard put it to the far side, and Devereaux couldn't pick up the feed. Now Sanderson with it for the Coyotes. Cleared it in behind. Scatchard. It knocked off his stick. They wrestle in behind the net, and it was 1 against 3, but the one was Duncan Keith. He won the puck, cleared it along the boards, picked up by Borg. He goes back behind the goal to Vandermeer. He's pressured by Sanderson. Now Sanderson jammed the loose, but it goes right to Verbata. Out he comes. Out in Verbata looking for Bork. And he'll peel off for a change. As the Coyotes send it back the other way. 2-2 the score with 8 minutes gone by here in period 2. Now in the neutral zone, the Coyotes pick it up. Johnson in the near corner. Kavasha. He had his pocket picked momentarily, then he got it back. Oleg Kavasha trying to get away from Keith. Not this time. Picked off his stick by Cullen, bringing it over the line. Here's Barnaby, around a check, cuts in there, shoots. It never got through. Back of the goal goes Cullen, who's checked by Kavasha. Mark Cullen continuing to work along the boards. Another to Bartovich, whose shot was blocked. Ends up on the far side. McCulloch bangs it to center ice. Hawks will send it back in as they want to complete a change. To the near side, Holmquist. Holmquist back of the net for Calder, who's checked. LaPointe in there as well. They can't pry it free just yet. Then LaPointe does. Marty LaPointe had knocked away by McCulloch. Then LaPointe got it again. Tried to center one. Here's Seabrook up on the play. Shoots one. Lenovieux the save. Rebound came loose. Hacked at by Calder. The goal line went on, but it was not till well after the whistle had sounded. And again, some pushing and shoving after the fact.
I'm not sure. The referee's got his arm up in the air, and it's going to be a cross-checking penalty on I'm not sure who's going to get it. Looks like it might be Jamie Rivers going to the penalty box.
Well, we'll tell you when we come back. The game is tied at 2. This Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Whether you like Jack Daniels mixed, straight, or on the rocks, there's really only one way to drink it. Responsibly.
On March 31st, see the most epic comedy in 2 million years.
I'll save you!
Ice Age, The Meltdown, rated PG.
At UBS, we offer our clients serious financial resources. Over 100 years of experience, the expertise of the world's largest wealth management firm, and, of course, the most serious resource of all, a relationship with an advisor who actually understands you. Wealth management at UBS, from wealth preservation to lending and investment. You and us. UBS.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, Bill stays in a business king room.
Look at the space.
And feels like a business king himself.
Multitasking. Chances of me working are remote.
Don't miss the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Brent Seabrook had a shot from the goal line from the near side. David Lenovieux made a save, and he was sprawling over. Kyle Calder saw that the puck was up against the pad, but really not covered up. He tried to jam it in the net, but the whistle went before Lenovieux ended up inside the goal with the puck underneath his pad. The referee had called the penalty on Jamie Rivers for cross-checking on Kyle Calder. So the Blackhawks, with 10.5 to go here in the second period, will go on the power play.
This just the second power play chance of the game for the Hawks, with a face-off to the right of Lenovieux. Hawks get the draw to the line. Vandermeer rings it up the boards. Morris picked it off. Hawks will have to chase back. Now Seabrook comes out. Gets the line, rolled it to the point on the right side. Dropped it back to Verbata. Out of the far side, Holmquist. They try to get everybody in position. Verbata picked it up now. To the corner end, Holmquist walked in behind. Seabrook trying to sneak in. He's got the puck, put it to the deep slot. Vandermeer. Far dot to Verbata, shoots one, and a good save by Lemieux. The Hawks moved it nicely that time around the perimeter. Troy wound up with a good shot.
They certainly did. They need to do that. Seabrook could come down the near boards to take the pass from behind the net from Holmquist, and then he fed Jim Vandermeer out high, and once they made that pass over to Vandermeer, the far side was open. Verbata got the opportunity, made one little move, and then tried to go a quick shot between the legs of Derek Morris. Lemieux was square to the shot and covered up the rebound.
Right off the draw now, Calder out of the far corner. Ooh, he tried to center, but that went well off the mark. And here comes Doan trying to move in on Byfuglien. Dustin Byfuglien used his big frame to body Doan out of the way. As the puck cleared back into the Chicago end. We have a minute to go on the Blackhawks power play. 2-2 the score halfway through the second. Now Byfuglien. Be forced to turn after he and Vandermeer had a few passes not go quite the way they hoped. Here comes Byfuglien out. Shoots it in there. McCauley had to clear it along the boards. It wound up going out of play, so a face-off in the offensive zone for Chicago.
If your Wigwam advertisement was autographed by Coyotes left wing.
Well, Troy, we're glad to have an old friend with us here, and old being the operative word. Cliff Coral, the president of the Blackhawk Alumni Association, here in Phoenix at the game, watching his beloved Blackhawks tonight. And well, you saw it all in the first period. Make you glad you were in a box, weren't you?
Well, I tell you, the fight with Bell was pretty interesting. He threw a few haymakers there, and I really am glad to be up here rather than out there.
We're glad to have you here. I want to talk to you in a second about the Alumni Association, which you're the president of. Here's the draw now on the Hawk end of the tail end of a power play. Back in the goal, Barnaby. Got help from Brown. He's checked. Mara knocked it loose, but Bork picked it up. To Seabrook at the line. His long wrist shot. Deflected through the crease by Brown. And now both teams are at full strength as the Phoenix penalty is expired. And the Coyotes Rivers cleared it to center ice. Scatchard trying to wait for a little help. Ran out of time as his teammates were changing. And the puck cleared to Bork to the line. Rennie Bork on the left side shoots, and a pad save by Lemieux, who will cover it up. 8 minutes remain here in the second. It's a 2-2 count. This is Chicago Blackhawks.
Tomorrow, the road trip continues for the Blackhawks when they head to Dallas for a shootout with the Stars. Coverage starts with Blackhawks pregame live. Blackhawks Stars tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. On April 2nd, history will be made on the South Side as the White Sox unveil their 2005 championship banner, and only Comcast Sportsnet will show it to you live. Don't miss a special Land Rover Sports Night, Sunday, April 2nd at 6, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
We think winning deserves a little celebration, because what's good for us is great for you. The Great For You celebration, going on now at your Honda dealer.
Well, there was one year where I almost lost the entire backyard to crabgrass, and I vowed that would never happen again. The following year, I did use Turf Builder plus Halts. It not only got rid of the crabgrass, but it also greened up the lawn and thickened it. I used the cheaper brands, but I didn't have the color that I wanted, and I did have the weeds. Look how thick it is. Look at the color of it. There are no weeds. I take the credit instead of Scott's. I call it Luby Lawn. I'm very proud of the results that I get from Scott's, and there will be no crabgrass.
Welcome back to Phoenix. Pat Foley, Troy Murray, and the president of the Blackhawk Alumni Association, the great Cliff Coral, the old number 20 who helped put Stan McKean in the Hall of Fame, here with us tonight. But I wanted to get you to talk for a minute, Cliff, about last Monday, which is one of the great days on the hockey calendar every year, the Alumni scholarship luncheon. And this, as a good save is made by Anderson on a Doan deflection. This the 19th year of that event. And through your organization, 64 high school kids have gotten help going to college throughout their entire college career. And it's just a tremendous amount of work you guys do to make all that happen. But you had to be awfully proud of what happened on Monday.
Oh, it was a tremendous day. And you and Troy did a tremendous job emceeing the whole event. And it was great to honor 3 great high school kids. They were very deserving of the award, and we're going to have many more down the years to come.
Well, I know that you know you keep close tabs on those who have gone through the program before, and you know, you read the letter. Everybody, all those kids who have won previously, write a letter about where they've been, what they've been doing. You got to take a lot of pride in the quality of individual that you guys have helped.
Oh, I tell you, these are all class kids, and this year we had so many good applications. We could have given out 20 scholarships if we had enough money to do it. And, you know, maybe someday we can do that, but they're all fine young kids, and we're getting them back in the fold to be part of our family. We're starting to get a mentoring group put together to work with these kids, and then once they're through college, we still want them to be part of our group.
Well, you and Keith Magnuson, among others, had an awful lot to do with getting that organization started. People like Troy Murray and Jack O'Callahan and Peter Marsh and Reggie Kerr and Mike Mullins have done a lot to keep it going. So kudos to one and all.
Well, thanks, Pat. And if it wasn't for the guys you just mentioned, you know, with all the support that you've given me, it would be some pretty tough and big shoes to fill after Maggie's absence. And you know, we want to continue the legacy Maggie started, and with the help of guys like Troy and Reggie and Peter and Mike Mullins and all the guys you just mentioned, Jack O'Callahan, another one. They've been great support, and they're making it happen. I'm just steering the ship. They're doing all the work.
Well, good job, Captain.
Thank you.
Well, Cliff, great to have you here. Glad you could stop by for a minute or two. And Hawks have played a very inspired game so far. Kind of reminds me of some of the days when there was another number 20 cruising around out there.
Well, I tell you, they've looked good tonight, and you know, the future looks good for this organization. You know, you got to have some patience for a year or two. You know, it's tough to say to have patience after you know, a number of the years the Hawks have floundered a little bit, but I think Dale's got everything going on the right track with this organization. Got a lot of good young kids, and it's going to take them a little time to develop and get some experience. So I think Chicago fans are in for some good hockey coming down the road.
There's one of the all-timers right there, Troy, Cliff Coral, and when you're around him, you're around class. As the puck goes out of play here, 6 minutes remain in the second. We're tied at 2, the Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Ever had one of those days when you feel like the whole world is against you? For an Alaskan crab fisherman, it really is. You don't work this job, you survive it. Deadliest Catch Season 2. The next wave begins Tuesday at 9 on the Discovery Channel.
Rave reviews for the all-new Hyundai Sonata. In areas of performance and features, Sonata wins in a landslide. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy, Sonata also boasts the government's highest crash safety rating. Call it a shot across the bow of Honda, Toyota, and Nissan. The all-new Hyundai Sonata, with America's best warranty, nicely equipped at just $17,995. It's a Hyundai like you've never seen before. Get the all-new Sonata V6 with up to $3,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer.
Every time the Blackhawks win this year, Nationwide Insurance will make a charitable donation to the Chicago Blackhawk Alumni Association.
Well, we hope they can make one tonight. As the draw is dumped into the Chicago zone, in behind the goals, dug out by the Coyotes. Centering attempt, and Schustrom tipped it wide, then put it out in front of drive. Ripped up off the glass by Doan. Held it by Seidenberg, put it into the near corner. Reinprecht got it to Doan on the far side. Shane Doan is checked by Brown, but the Coyotes then dig it out. Seidenberg kicked it into the near corner. And turns behind against Bochenski. Then Seidenberg, or I should say Schustrom, knocked down. Wow, that's going to be a penalty. He went down rather easily, and Seabrook can't believe it, and I can't either.
Yeah, Seabrook's giving him the evil eye as he heads to the penalty box, but he came in, and Schustrom was kind of in a vulnerable position there, and Seabrook came in and finished his check as the puck squirted loose. But the way that they're calling them, Pat, in this day and age, that certainly is warranted of a penalty.
By the way, just seeing Cliff Coral up here a minute ago, Troy reminds me that if anybody wants to see some great high school hockey, the state championships are going to happen in the United Center on Saturday at 1 o'clock. The boys state title game between Loyola and Glenbrook South. Trent Yanni and Marty DePoint are going to be on hand to present the winners with their awards. And after that game, probably at about 4, Glenbrook against New Trier for the girls state high school championship game. So many high school kids have been helped by the alumni scholarship program, and high school hockey has come a long way in the state. Chance to see some great high school games on Saturday. The state championships will be decided, and you get a chance on Sunday night to see some great professional hockey. The Blackhawks back on home ice at 6 o'clock to take on the San Jose Sharks, who were smoked tonight 3-0 in Detroit in a very big battle to try to get their way into the playoffs in the Western Conference. And now, as players were changing, a little bit of grappling going on right in front of the bench areas.
We got 10 players on the ice right now, actually 9, I think, because there was only 4 Blackhawk players to start with. Phoenix Coyotes at this point, I think, are outnumbering the Blackhawks. Vandermeer is right in, but Derek Morris was one of the guys yipping at James Wisniewski. Looks like nothing is going to develop of that, but that had potential to break out into something. I didn't really see what started it. Right at the blue line of the Blackhawks. Everything's cooled down now, and most players have separated and headed towards their benches. Bell back out on the ice after serving that 17 minutes in penalties.
And he gets a draw back into his own end. Varenka looking for Keith. He fought off a check and cleared it down all the way. Big play by Duncan Keith. If you joined us late, really playing under the weather tonight, has been hit badly by a flu bug the last couple of days. Here's Sanderson back over the line. That looked like an offside play, but here's a shot and a save by Anderson, kicking out the left pad. McCulloch held it into Mara. He swings it around the boards. Sanderson. And a centering pass picked off by Calder. He cleared at the length. Just under a minute left now on the Chicago penalty.
Hawks have done an excellent job in this game, keeping the Coyotes to the outside. They've got some great shooters, guys like Shane Doan. They want to tee it up, but they haven't been able to set up the plays that they want to because of the good pressure along the boards inside the defensive zone.
One more rush on the Phoenix power play. Scatcherd going rink wide. It's kicked in there. Seidenberg giving chase. Now sweeps it to the near side. Scatcherd rolled it back. Seidenberg. They play catch. Seidenberg, a long shot is blocked. Then rebound in front. Oh, the shot block went right to Reinprecht. And he fired it by the stick side of Anderson. A power play goal for the Coyotes, and they have the lead.
Well, this is a lucky break for Reinprecht. Patrick Sharp was out high in the zone, Pat, and he blocked that shot. Anderson kind of went to where that shot was going to go. Reinprecht picked up the blocked shot, loose puck, and then he just turned. And this is a blind shot, but it ends up going up and over the blocker of Craig Anderson in one of those little spinorama moves. And this is a quick shot from Reinprecht. Anderson was trying to move across to his right, but didn't get there in time. A well-placed shot, or a lucky shot, whichever way you want to look at it. Ends up behind Anderson. Reinprecht's 16th goal of the season.
his third point of the game. He assisted on the first two Phoenix tallies. Now scores their third goal, and it's a 3-2 Coyote lead. Here's Holmquist over the line, putting it in deep. Bell
16th of the season score.
works in the corner, and it's jammed loose to the Coyotes. Nash dumping it in. Wisniewski looking for Holmquist. He's checked. And they work along the board. Now the Coyotes have control of it. Ricci put it to Ballard, a long shot into the glove of Craig Anderson, who holds on. And Troy, seeing Cliff Core reminded me of something I saw on Monday when the entire Blackhawk team, by the way, kudos to the Hawks for supporting the alumni as aggressively and as well as they do. Every Blackhawk player and coach was on hand. A lot of management folks on hand for that luncheon on Monday. And I noticed something that really struck me. You know, of course, a couple of years ago, the tragic passing of Keith Magnuson, and I think it was 2 years ago at that luncheon, every attendee received a number 3 button. Of course, Keith Magnuson's number. And on Monday, I'm talking to a couple of Hawk players after the luncheon, and what is Jim Vandermeer wearing? The number 3 button. I mean, he's held on to that for a couple of years. There's a class act. That's why that guy's going to be one of the core here for a long time. Here come the Coyotes. Oh, and another rush that should have wound up in a good scoring chance. Got nothing. Johnson fell down. He tried to execute a drag move and wound up in it with a face plant. Now it's taken by Seidenberg, who shoots. That picked up in front by Johnson. He couldn't complete a stuff shot. It was knocked off his blade. And Seabrook dumped it back in.
Johnson heads for a change, and rightly so. We better get off before he gets hurt.
Minute and a half left in the second. 3-2 Phoenix. Oops. Well, the Coyotes' Mara has a little bit of a problem, and his puck is cleared up the boards. Held in by Sharp. A long wrist shot sticked away by Leneview. And then Seidenberg put it off the glass and out. Here come the Coyotes. Schustrom over the line. Turns along the boards. And it's jammed back into the center ice area.
1 minute and 40 remaining in the second period.
Finally cleared back into Chicago territory. As we go to the final minute of the second period, Schustrom had his pocket picked by Wisniewski, and out comes Rabada on right wing over the line. Roddy and Rabada dropped it back. Oh, Barnaby couldn't hang on to the pass. It seemed to be there for him. Now picked up by Cullen. This centering attempt never got through. Cullen again from the near corner. Out to the deep slot. The Bufflin along one-timer just went wide. Rabada now turns along the near side. Put it in behind where Cullen was knocked down. And into the corner goes Morris with 20 seconds left. And Doan able to hoist it to center. Now bouncing back to the Phoenix zone is finally corralled by Morris. Out he comes, 7 seconds. Derek Morris put it over the line. Ron picked a long shot and a save by Anderson with 3 ticks left. He took a look up at the clock, Anderson did. I think he actually wanted to play it. Couldn't dig the puck out of his pads.
Yeah, he absolutely wanted to get that puck and just chip it in the corner. He didn't want to take a face-off with 3 seconds left inside his zone. He's shaking his head right now, but that long shot by Schustrom went into the pads, and now we've got another little situation going here. Marty Lapointe is...
Oh, he's going to get a penalty.
Somebody, and yeah, he's going to get a penalty. And I don't know if the Phoenix Coyote guy who was involved with that, it was Schustrom.
Schustrom
is going to get a penalty. They're both going to head down. So Schustrom is going to get a penalty because he's heading down to his locker room. Marty Lapointe's going to be pointed towards his respective locker room, and they'll looks like they might have offsetting penalties here. But you know, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, Pat, that this game has had since the beginning. That at any time it just seems like it could explode open a little bit.
Well, it exploded at the 12.5-minute mark of the first period with a slugfest between Ballard and Grattan, and there's been all sorts of situations since then when players have come together and even going on changes. If somebody rubs shoulders with another guy from the other team, they have a stare down at least, if not a verbal confrontation.
It's going to be 4-on-4, and they're going to, Wayne Gretzky's going to pull his goaltender here with 3 seconds left. I don't think it's a possibility for the Blackhawks to win this draw cleanly and get the puck down the ice, depending how, if we have a dock.
Gretzky pulls the goalie. 3 seconds left with a draw to the right of Anderson. Sharp in there against Ricci. As Dan Shakti gets him ready. And Sharp got the draw to the corner. That will finish period 2. So the Coyotes will take the lead into the third. So far the game, 22 shots for Chicago, so they had 10 in the second. The Coyotes had 8 shots in the second and a total of 18 in the game. At the end of 40 minutes of play in Arizona, the Coyotes 3, the Blackhawks 2. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Now when you need it most. Introducing Singular Video, featuring scenes from The Sopranos and other HBO entertainment. HBO Mobile, only on Singular. Singular, raising the bar.
We're in the Amazon rainforest to demonstrate rain-sensing windshield wipers on the Lexus ES. Any moment now, a downpour will activate the wipers automatically. Any moment now. Did we mention the power rear sunshade? See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
At Comcast, our commitment to your community only begins with the clearest pictures and faster internet connections. We're doing more for your community because we live in your community. And we're committed to bringing our streets, our neighborhoods, our towns closer, together. Comcast.
Well, before we got Comcast Workplace, we were having a hard time staying on top of things. Portfolios, scheduling, auditions, it got pretty ugly.
This is so beneath me.
A lot of it's done online now. Sure, we looked at DSL, but Comcast gives us more speed.
It's poperific.
And it includes McAfee Security Free. Bottom line, Comcast gives us the performance we're looking for.
Comcast Workplace, broadband for business.
McDonald's Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hi everyone, Gail Fisher here with you. The Blackhawks trail the Coyotes 3-2 after 2. Josh Moore, Jim Blaney, and Steve Conroy are standing by to break down the second period. But first, a look at the top stories in Chicago sports today. Veteran Bears defensive back Jerry Azuma officially retired from pro football today. Azuma cited a combination of neck and hip pain and other factors that led to his decision. The 28-year-old corner was a Pro Bowl selection in 2003. At a press conference today, Azuma at times joked with reporters and looked at peace with his decision.
It's not a sad day. It's a good day. You know, I had a lot of fun, a lot of success, a lot of ups and downs throughout my time in the NFL, but it's been a wonderful experience. Just playing for a storybook tradition has been incredible, and it's something I'll never forget.
Ozzy and the White Sox in surprise Arizona taking on the Rangers. Scotty Pod's healthy again, top of the fifth. He slaps a short liner to right center, and Gustavo Molina making it. Sliding safely into third, Petsednik on his way. As the Rangers throw it away, Molina will score on the play. The game is tied up at 2. Petsednik ends with 3 hits as the Sox win at 5-4. The Cubs and Mariners in Mesa, first inning. Aramis Ramirez rips a double into the gap. Derek Lee will score all the way from first. 2 RBI for Ramirez in the game. Glendon Rush was looking sharp on the mound here. He starts the 1-6-3 double play to end the inning. Rush goes 5 strong innings to earn the win, and the Cubs win it 6-1. In the Sweet 16 tonight, the Cinderella story for the Bradley Braves comes to an end. Bradley loses to #1 seed Memphis 80-64. The Braves could not overcome shooting just 30% from the floor. We'll have reaction from Bradley on Sports Night after Blackhawks postgame live. The guys are standing by to break down the second period now, and I'll see you after the game.
There's a line we all cross in our lives. It's the line between what can I have and what do I want? The line where our buddies become our friends. We each arrive at this line in our own time, sometimes unexpectedly. But whenever that time comes, one thing is for sure. Things will change just a little bit for the better. Right down to the beer you drink. Enjoy the golden, rich flavor of Miller Genuine Draft. It's beer, grown up.
On the field of battle, it is impossible for the brave to advance alone. It's everyone's game.
Because my friends and I have in, even when I travel on business, we stay in touch.
Hey, Schmitty.
With unlimited calls, text, and picture messaging, it's easy.
My name's Schmitty. I have a job. My boss is a...
Really easy.
Get in on the Verizon Wireless Network, and now you'll get unlimited in-calling plus unlimited in-text and pics for just $10 a month. Get started with an LG 5200 and get a second one free. Verizon Wireless. It's the in-network.
All rights to this telecast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Blackhawks is expressly prohibited.
The Blackhawks find themselves behind after a late Steve Reinprecht goal in the second period. The Coyotes have it 3-2 after 40 minutes in Phoenix. Well, welcome back to the studios. Josh Morris, Steve Conroy, and Jim Blaney. Before the Coyotes took the lead, halfway through the period, the Blackhawks actually thought they took the lead. It was off of a shot from Brent Seabrook from near the goal line. David Lemieux has it. Kyle Calder thinks he's put it in.
Well, what Kyle Calder did was shove the goalie in over the goal line. And you see the referee giving the signal for a cross-check. He'd blown the whistle for a cross-check. You see the puck's covered. You can't really see it. Holmquist has got his hands up, but no goal. They did get the power play.
Then late in the period on a Phoenix power play, the Hawks had it perfectly defended, but a deflection right to Steve Reinprecht.
Sometimes you just don't get the bounce. In the case of the Blackhawks, in the case of the Coyotes, sometimes you do. And that's having the right guy in the right place. Steve Reinprecht's having a nice game so far tonight.
Indeed he is. He's got the Coyotes out in front 3-2 in the period. The Blackhawks had 10 shots on goal. They've got 22 for the game. The Coyotes had 8 for 18. The Yotes are 1 for 4 on the power play. The Blackhawks 0 for 2, and that second one looked bad. A lot of bad blood between these teams. We're going to talk about that on Blackhawks post-game live after the game, but hopefully the Hawks get an equalizer and can win this one at some point in the third period or in overtime. We're back after the game. We'll get you now to a break, and then the third period between the Coyotes and the Blackhawks.
From the man who brought fantasy to life comes a hair product born into reality. Beauty has a face. Perfection a name. And now, you can experience a shampoo worthy of only one man's name.
Life comes at you fast. Ready for retirement? Get ready with Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
This is why we're in this rough and tumble business. It's the reason we push the limits of man and machine. I'll be gunning for this baby this summer at Chicagoland Speedway.
You're not racing, Mr. Farrell. You're the Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal. I get the trophy, right?
For ticket information, call 815-727-RACE or visit chicagolandspeedway.com.
What? No, I wasn't kissing the trophy.
I mean, the recent Josephine...
You don't have enough minutes. Don't answer this. You don't have enough minutes.
What
don't answer
is that?
Oh, that's just my new ringtone. It's a reminder.
No minutes. Don't answer. No minutes. Don't answer.
Need more Anytime Minutes? Right now, get 1,500 nationwide Anytime Minutes for only $45 a month. Plus, get free Call Me Minutes. U.S. Cellular. We connect with you.
Nice. Shall we?
This M-Class has a powerful engine with 268 horsepower. Corner. 7 speeds, hands never leave the wheel.
Yeah. Sportier.
Great handling.
Can we stop? Sir, please.
Oh, sure. Electronic brake assist.
So what'd you think? Wow.
The 2006 ML350. See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a special lease offer through Mercedes-Benz Financial. Visit your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Welcome back to the second intermission. We're very happy to be joined by Tuomo Ruutu. And Tuomo, I know it's been a very tough year for you. First of all, your back problems that you had, and then a freak injury that put you out with an ankle injury. How is the ankle feeling, and how are you feeling in general?
So far, ankle is pretty good, actually. I've been skating for over a week. So far it's been good, and especially my head is getting better too at the same time.
I know Trent talked about the sanity factor of it. I know it's been mentally hard on you pretty much most of the year, not being able to join your teammates. You are making your first road trip here. You talked about it just briefly right there. Mentally, are you feeling a lot better that you're a part of the whole thing right now?
Definitely. You know, I think it was a nice thing from the coach and from the organization that I could come here and you know, join my team and have fun with my team. You know, it's a team sport, and that's why I like it so much.
You know, you had surgery with the ankle. You didn't have surgery with the back. That was just an extended rehab. Have you had any setbacks with the back injury?
No, it's actually since I came back from my back injury, it's been perfect. So I haven't had any problems with it.
I know during the Olympic break, you had an opportunity to go back home to Finland. What did you do when you were there?
You know, just basic stuff. Finally, I got something to eat, so my mom cooked me some home-cooked meal, so I think that was the best thing to do.
You had an opportunity when you were back home to watch, I guess, an old teammate of yours, Tony Samalainen, the young guy that we picked up in the trade for Jaroslav Spacek when he went to Edmonton. What can you tell us about this kid?
Well, he's a good player. I mean, he's a battler. He's really quick. I think like he's probably the fastest, and maybe even the fastest player I've ever seen on the ice, especially the first couple of strides. And you know what I mean when you see him playing on here.
I know that he's not that big. He's only 5'9" or 185 pounds, somewhere in that area. But does he have the necessary skills to play at the NHL level?
I definitely think. I think he's quick and he's got a good shot. And he's small, but actually he's really strong. So he looks like a bodybuilder. He does.
There's a couple other young Finns that I want you to talk about real quickly here. Jari Viakola and Petri Kontiola. I mean, I apologize if I'm close on that, but tell us quickly about some of those two young kids.
They're both good. I've seen Viakola playing a lot when I was in Finland. He's been one of the best players in the Finnish league past 5 years, so he's not a rookie anymore or anything like that. And I've heard a lot of good things about Kontiola too. He's supposed to be a really smart player.
Oh, good. Well, I'm certainly glad you're able to join us here in the booth, and certainly glad to have you back on the road. I know that you're happy to be back on the road with your teammates. So, Tuomo, good luck for the rest of the season. And there is a possibility that at some point we may see you back in a Blackhawk uniform before the regular season ends. So hopefully that takes place, and healthy-wise that you don't have any other setbacks coming at the rest of the season. So good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Tuomo Ruutu, third period action coming right up.
It's all new, and it's sure to turn heads. Introducing the completely redesigned RAV4. The bigger, more powerful RAV4 is 14 inches longer and has 40% more cargo space. Add an available fuel-efficient 269 horsepower V6, and it'll take on anything you throw its way. Discover the exciting new RAV4 while you're at the Toyota Premier event today. Toyota, moving forward.
When the game is over, stay tuned for Blackhawks Postgame Live, presented by Verizon Wireless. You'll get a complete breakdown of all the action from Steve Conroy and Jim Blaney. Blackhawks Postgame Live, presented by Verizon Wireless, after the Hawks game on Comcast Sportsnet. Saturday, the White Sox are on Comcast Sportsnet. Spring training preparation continues as the world champs slug it out with Barry Bonds and the San Francisco Giants. White Sox Giants, Saturday at 2 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Comcast High-Speed Internet is the only high-speed internet provider that can bring you the wonderful world of Disney connection. Now on Comcast.net, you get cartoons, movie trailers, music videos, great games, and more. Access free premium content from Disney's Blast, an ad-free world of games and activities for kids. Play in Disney's Toontown, a 3D world where your family lives the life of a toon. And get specially discounted premium memberships for subscribers. Only at Comcast.net. To get Comcast high-speed internet, call now.
Do you know the #1 reason people in debt don't file bankruptcy? It's fear. Fear of losing home or pension. Fear of the unknown. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Don't be afraid. Chapter 13 debt repayment and Chapter 7 discharge can make your life better. My law firm uses the new bankruptcy law to get you out of debt and eliminate that problem from your life. Log on to infotapes.com or call now.
1-888-332-1107.
Sports Day, weekdays at noon, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Glendale Arena. The Hawks trail the Coyotes 3-2 as we get ready for the third period. Craig Anderson to our right for Chicago and David Lenevue to our left for Phoenix. And we remember start with 4 skaters aside, late coincidentals to LaPointe and Schustrom. And here's the draw now, controlled by Calder. Racing up the right side, gets the line, made a drop pass. Bell drives to the net. Oh, it just lost the handle as he tried to pull up his forehand. Then a quick shot went just wide. Now the nearboard Bell. With help from Calder. Kyle Calder had it knocked away. Doan coming out. Shane Doan to the Hawk line, looking for Ryan Preck. That one picked off nicely by Duncan Keith, who had that play snipped out. And Keith, a long pass to Bell at center, gets to the line, waiting for a little help. And now coming on a change was Vandermeer. A great play to kick to the stick with a pass well behind him. Then was checked. And the Coyotes able to get control. McCulloch out it to Comrie. He chipped it in. Now Jim Vandermeer. Made it to Dustin Byfuglien. His long pass sailed to the Phoenix line. And now back into the Hawk end. Captured by Vandermeer. Sends Holmquist up the right side. Gets into the zone. Holmquist weaves toward the near board. Flipped it in deep. And the Hawks able to get it into the corner. Verbata there. Nadim Verbata going to fend off the check at Devereaux. Then Holmquist put it out to the line. There's Vandermeer with a long slap shot. He fired it wide. And it bounced all the way back to center. Now Vandermeer. Lost it as he got to the line. Sanderson took it away. Now the coincidentals are over and we're back to full and equal strength. As it's deep into the Chicago end. A centering attempt picked off. And the Hawks come away. Patrick Sharp gains the zone. Sharp to the far circle. Shoots. That's gobbled up by Lenevue, who hangs onto it.
Fans enjoy a Blackhawks game as a group of 15 or more. Group tickets start at only $10. Call 312-943-HAWK or visiting ChicagoBlackhawks.com for more information. Pat, it's been a pretty even game. The one power play goal by the Phoenix Coyotes, the difference in this one, and all the games up to this point between these two teams have been fairly close. Good goaltending battles, and the difference seems to be one mistake or one power play, and that's the difference.
That is so far tonight. Here's a quick shot. Oh, and it went off the post from Sharp. Rebound. And a save by Lenevue. A nice centering pass from Bartovich gave Sharp a chance. Oh, boy, and he fired it by the goalie, but hit the pipe and stayed out.
Patrick Sharp a couple of games ago, as you remember, had an opportunity to tie the game with 7 seconds left, and he hit the post on that one. This time, Matthew Barnaby throws a little cycle back down to the corner to Bardovich, and he throws a quick pass out to Patrick Sharp, and before Lenevieux could even react to that, the puck was off the post and skirted right along the goal line. Amazingly, that didn't hit anything, and then Sharp almost got the wraparound as he went around behind the net and tried to tuck in that puck as it was coming across the goal line.
Patrick Sharp with 2 goals in his last 5 games, 10 now for the year, after a tremendously long drought after he first came to the Hawks. But once the puck went to the net, as it often happens, once you break that long drought, it'll go in a little bit more regularly for you. And Sharp's been a very solid contributor offensively here of late. Now it's center ice. Barnaby dropped it to Seabrook, who shoots it in there. Barnaby tried to center, but nobody home for the Hawks. And Tyson Nash rolled it to center ice, where Coyotes dump it in. Bufflin back to Barinka. A long pass finds Bork over the line. Shoots one. That one partially blocked. An easy save as it turned out for Lenevieux. Meanwhile, Dustin Bufflin in his 11th NHL game, the first one he ever played, he had his family on hand, scored the game-winning goal. What about game 1 of your NHL career? Is it supposed to be this easy?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, it could have been a couple more games before I got my first one. Just kind of make myself feel some pressure and know that not get so relaxed. I think after you get your first one, you feel a little bit more confidence out there. But you know, it's all going good, and I hope everything keeps going good.
There's a little reverse psychology in that one. He didn't want the early goal on his first NHL shot. He would rather wait a couple games.
Well, he sure has acquitted himself very nicely, and you know, he admitted, I mean, he was very surprised to be called up, and obviously very happy that he was. And he's got 43 more periods to try to get an early start on winning a spot next season.
Well, not only he made a pretty good impression on the people within the Blackhawks, he's made a big impression throughout the league, and everybody that comes in talks about his size and his physical ability out on the ice. And for a guy like Todd Bertuzzi to get ramrodded by him really speaks a lot for the size that he has.
Duncan Keith, a long shot was redirected. Fortunately for Lenevieux, slowed in the process. Meanwhile, Derek Morris took a wicked slapper from Calder off his ankle, and he can't put any weight on his left leg as he limps to the Phoenix bench. I don't think he's going to stay there very long. He's headed toward the dressing room.
He's had a tough year. He's already missed a lot of games with an injury, and this one goes right off the left ankle, whether that's on the instep or on the ankle bone itself. Calder walked in and he drilled a shot. Morris is being helped down into his locker room. He can't put any weight on it, so hopefully that isn't a severe injury for Derek Morris.
Now the draw is cleared in behind the Phoenix goal. End of the far board, Cullen there. Chipped into the corner, then to the deep slot. Here's Wisniewski, long shot, glove save, Lenevieux. And he hangs on to it. David Lenevieux, just 22 years of age, and Wayne Gretzky has said publicly he thinks this guy is the goalie of the future here in Phoenix. He was here earlier this season, had just a 2-5-2 record, but in the minor leagues had a very good record in the American Hockey League. A save percentage of 92, which was up among the AHL leaders. And the last game he played before being recalled here, he had his second shutout in 3 starts. That one was a 53 save shutout. And they figured, I guess it's time to bring him up. But Curtis Joseph, the veteran, will likely be the #1, but Lenevieux trying to work his way into a potential backup position for next year. Now here's Wisniewski with a long shot that's blocked, and it's cleared back into the neutral zone. It's early in the third, 3-2 in favor of the Coyotes. Holmquist gains the line, dropped it back. Bartovich with a wrist shot right through the slot. And Bufflin a long drive up off the glass. Picked off by the Coyotes, and Scatchard rolled it to Devereaux, clearing it in over the line. Here's Ballard up on the plate, trying to center. That one deflected to Scatchard. Scatchard was checked, taken away by Barnaby. And over to the right wing boards is Bell, sending Bartovich ahead. Lost it as he got to the line. And then it winds up back behind the Phoenix net. Ballard, the left wing boards, Devereaux, Ballard and Bartovich in quite a collision after that pass was made. And boy, this has been, you would not anticipate necessarily this physical a game between two teams that are not going to be in the postseason. But Troy, these teams are playing tonight like it's a real playoff battle.
There has been a number of huge hits, and everybody's finishing their checks on both sides. I mean, this is a very competitive game if you're the Phoenix Coyotes, and if Trent Yanni is watching this game, you're really happy with the way that your team is competing.
Oleg Kavasha up the left side, sends it in. Then he was knocked down by Seabrook with a jolt on the boards. Duncan Keith was pressured, lost the handle. Back of the goal goes Comrie against Seabrook. Out of the near side, Comrie sends it over to the far point. Seidenberg a long shot. That deflected just wide. Now back of the goal, it goes to Johnson. His pass didn't connect. Bork picked it off. And the Hawks clear it in over the line to Seabrook up on the play. Turns to the corner, shoots, and a save by Lemieux. Seabrook got his own rebound, put it to the deep slot. Duncan Keith is there. His long wrister gobbled up by Lemieux through a screen, and he's able to hang on to it. We said it's been physical, and Bartovich, one of many Hawks who have been laying the wood to the Coyotes. But Phoenix has a 3-2 lead. This Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Ice Age, The Meltdown, rated PG. March 31st.
Your guide to the all-new Hyundai Sonata. With the government's highest crash safety rating and standard safety features like 6 airbags, electronic stability control, and active front head restraints. Plus, award-winning quality backed by America's best warranty. All for $3,300 less than Camry. The all-new Hyundai Sonata. Nicely equipped at just $17,995. It's a Hyundai like you've never seen before. Get the all-new Sonata V6 with up to $3,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, Bill stays in a business king room.
Look at the space.
And feels like a business king himself.
Multitasking. Chances of me working are remote.
Don't miss the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
When the Blackhawks face the St. Louis Blues on March 29th, the first 10,000 fans to enter the United Center will receive a Blackhawk baseball cap courtesy of Pepsi.
Face off to the left of Lemieux. Still fairly early in the third period, a 1-goal lead for the Coyotes, although the Hawks have outshot them 31-21 so far in the game. Now the puck cleared back of the Phoenix net. Calder after it there. Kyle Calder comes to the near side. And now a penalty on the play as Vandermeer, I believe, tagged for an interference call.
The old pick and roll. Jim Vandermeer along the boards, came down along the side. Created a little bit of a space for Calder as he was taking the puck up along the boards. He's entitled to his own space. He's just going down the boards. He doesn't move. He doesn't do anything. But as Calder skates toward him, one of the Coyotes tried to go at Kyle Calder and ran into Vandermeer, and I guess that's interference.
Blackhawks penalty to number 23, Jim Banner.
Hawks get a draw to Seabrook, who cleared at the length.
The penalty, 6:56 of the third period.
Phoenix with a power play goal so far in the game, which in fact is their third goal and the difference right now. Here they come over the line. Ryan cutting and shoots, and a save by Anderson. Rebound to the near point. McCulloch is there to the deep slot. Rivers a long shot, sailed up off the glass into the near side. They work along the boards. The Coyotes pick it up. Ryan Preck put it to Rivers. Fakes, got a man down, walked around into the dot. Fires! Hit the goal post! He blew it by the glove side of Anderson, but hit the pipe and stayed out.
Rockets by Jamie Rivers, who's really finding a new life here with the Phoenix Coyotes. He's been a healthy scratch most of the year with the Detroit Red Wings. He's been coming in here and playing over 20 minutes a game and on the power play with these Coyotes.
A minute remains on the Chicago power play, Chicago penalty, I should say, is Sanderson now for Phoenix. They carry it back to the Hawk line. Stripped of it there. Nice stand-up play, Bufflin. He cleared it back into Coyote ice. Now Comrie to the line. Left it for Scatchard. Threw it in deep. Bufflin got to it for the Hawks. Finds the opening and shot at the length. Now Scatchard comes out with it. Lost it as he got to the line, taken away by Wisniewski. He was pressured by Scatchard. Hawks cleared up the boards, and the Coyotes keep it in. Comrie finding Mara. Sends it to the far side. Seidenberg with a shot and a save by Anderson with a left pad. Rebound to the near board. Picked up by Sharp. He gave it away. Mara walked to the top of the ring. Then gave it to Sanderson. Now the Hawk penalty over, then a shot. Never got through. Both teams were at full strength as the puck corralled by Duncan Keith. He made a good pass to Bork, who has plenty of room. They scoop it back into the Phoenix zone. Taken by Mara. Now the Coyotes start away. Ballard's long bank pass didn't click. And the Hawks trying to catch him in a change. Holmquist over the line, shoots one. And a pad save by Lenovo. Came well out to challenge the shot. Now back in the goal, Ballard. Put it to the near board. Johnson couldn't get it out. Now Vandermeer sends it to the far corner and Bell. Mark Bell was bumped right off the puck by Ballard. Cleared it to the near side. Johnson bangs it back to center. Devereaux picked it up to the line. Dropped it back. Johnson, a shot. Pad save Anderson. Rebound taken by LaPointe. And the puck cleared to center ice. McCulloch fires a long one. Blocker save Anderson. Rebound Verbata. Now a long pass to Flex in the neutral zone. The Coyotes move back in. That shot went well wide and it cleared back to the neutral area. Now the Coyotes look to move in. Nice poke check at the line though by Wisniewski. And now in the Phoenix end, Rivers starts it away. Cleared it back into Chicago ice. Gratton put it to the near corner. Ricci is grabbed there. Nash put it in deep, but it's captured by Barinka. Looking for Verbata on the left wing boards. Nadine Verbata with just one goal his last 13 games, but cleared it back into the Phoenix zone. And now the Coyotes. Ballard rolled to the center where Sjostrom dumped it in. Just under 9 minutes remaining now in the third. 3-2 in favor of the Coyotes. Tomorrow night, the Hawks will be in Dallas, 7:30 with a face-off time for the Hawks and the Stars. Here's a chance for Reinbrecht to shot. And a shoulder save made by Anderson. Rebound picked up by the Hawks. Barinka made a good pass up the right side. Sharp with a drive and a save for the blocker by Lenovo. And the Coyotes now with a chance for a 3-on-2. Reinbrecht leads them up. Put it over the line. A shot by Doan and a save by Anderson. Rebound to Sharp. Patrick Sharp moves back to the Phoenix line. Keith is going to join the play. He gets the feed. But his pass then was picked off. And the Coyotes try to move back in, but Schuster ran out of room. Seabrook cut him off at center.
Real good end-to-end action going on here. Blackhawks throwing everything that they can at him right now. Duncan Keith and all the defensemen will take that opportunity to step into the play offensively to try and make something happen when they get the chance.
Now it's cleared back into the Chicago end. Taken by Seabrook. His pass deflecting, and Seidenberg almost saw it, but was knocked away. And here comes Brown over the line, 3-on-3, trapped into work with a drive, and a good pad save by Lemieux. Rebound cleared back to the Hawk line. Curtis Brown had his pocket picked nearly by Sanderson, but he couldn't get full control of it. And now Sanderson unable to advance it. Oh, and a pass deflecting. Look out of the Coyote bench. That one
look out, Wayne Gretzky.
7 minutes to go in the third. 3-2 Phoenix. This is Blackhawk hockey.
Whoever said change is good knows squat about making bourbon. For 210 years and 7 generations, we've stayed true to the original Beam family recipe. Here's the stubbornness.
In leadership, no word is more important than trust. You can trust Chevy, the brand more Americans choose.
See why during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Chevy has more SUVs that offer both OnStar and StabiliTrak together than anyone else. Get a low-mileage lease on an 06 Trailblazer LS 2-wheel drive for around $249 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Or get it for less during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Ever had one of those days when you feel like the whole world is against you? For an Alaskan crab fisherman, it really is. You don't work this job, you survive it. Deadliest Catch Season 2. The next wave begins Tuesday at 9 on the Discovery Channel.
Not long ago, Wayne Gretzky was reflecting on life in the NHL when he was playing compared to now, and he said, you know, the difference in the quality of the players now from a first-place team to a 30th-place team is not as great as it used to be in the 70s, 80s, or even in the early 90s. So if you, all you want to do is try to find the right combinations, not just score goals, but the right combinations that are going to make a particular line a plus line. I know at the first part of that quote that really the difference in talent and how great it was when he was playing and how little it is now is quite interesting, and obviously something that fans of the lower ranked teams currently in the NHL can take heart in.
Well, I mean, the talent base is so much broader than it was before. There's so many European players that have added a completely different dimension, and the Edmonton Oilers are one of the first teams to have a guy like Yuri Curry to be really a guy from Europe to make a huge impression on the NHL game, and teams have followed suit. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you look at the old days, and there was the cream of the crop, and then there was teams at the bottom, and there was really no opportunity for those teams to crawl up into that echelon of teams in the National Hockey League. And Wayne Gretzky's been around long enough to understand that part of the game. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not that far off, and to find the right combination, maybe sometimes a little bit of luck, but in the same situation, you build within and develop.
Well, I mean, you know, Blackhawk fans who are going to, you know, have a team that this year is going to finish in the bottom 4 or 5 in the league overall. But you think about what Gretzky said, and you know, you get a guy like Tuomo Ruutu hopefully coming back at full strength, which may even happen before this year ends. An important guy like Javi Bullen with a year after being basically off for a year, gets a full year of acclimating to Chicago. And you get hopefully a Coin able to recover from shoulder surgery and come back at full strength. And obviously, you know, here's a wraparound shot by the Coyotes, and Jeff that has given Phoenix a 2-goal lead. Right through the wickets into the middle of the net. It's 4-2.
Craig Anderson might want to have this one back, and not really on the goal itself, but Shane Doan takes a shot from the near boards at the top of the circle, and it's up in the blocker range. And Craig Anderson, rather than deflecting that out of harm's way into the corner or controlling his rebound, allows that puck to scoot out in front of the net, and Sanderson somehow finds the way to the puck and just spins around for his 23rd goal of the season. And that goal itself wasn't the problem. The problem was he didn't control his rebound on the initial shot by Shane Doan.
Assist number 19, Shane Doan.
Now Barinka.
14:34 in the third
Send it in there.
Sanderson from Doan at 14:34.
Anyway, to finish off the long-winded point, I was trying to make, you know, it's not like you're going to be able to turn it around immediately, because it is a process and things cannot happen overnight. But the opportunity to make some fairly big strides, I think the Blackhawks have a wonderful opportunity next year to be able to do that. And talking about those guys that we mentioned as very important players, and you know, started to say Dale has understood and recognized the fact that with the way the game is being played now, you got to upgrade the speed and the skill and the scoring ability of this team. The Blackhawks are right at the bottom of the league in terms of offense. You know, that has to get better. And you talked about the need to pick up in one way or another, whether it's through free agency or trades, you know, some top 6 forwards. And there might be a couple currently here, but they need more than what they have. So, you know, those needs are going to be addressed. And now we have some more pushing and shoving after a whistle. Scatchard seemed to be interested in getting maybe at Bork.
Bork leveled him at center ice, and he got up and went right after him.
4 minutes remain. We'll tell you about the penalties when we come back. It's 4-2 Phoenix. This Blackhawk hockey.
Tomorrow, the road trip continues for the Blackhawks when they head to Dallas for a shootout with the Stars. Coverage starts with Blackhawks pregame live. Blackhawks Stars tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. On April 2nd, history will be made on the South Side as the White Sox unveil their 2005 championship banner, and only Comcast Sportsnet will show it to you live. Don't miss a special Land Rover Sports Night, Sunday, April 2nd at 6, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Appreciated worldwide. The LR3 by Land Rover.
This man bought his wool suit at Men's Warehouse for $200. This man paid twice as much at another menswear store. So while they both look smart, one of them actually is. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Borkup gets an elbowing penalty, and he levels Jeff Sanderson at center ice. And then Scatchard comes in, and he levels Scatchard. And I'm not sure whether he got an elbow penalty on the first hit or the second hit. But Bork will sit for a couple of minutes as the Phoenix Coyotes, with 4 minutes to go here, will be in control on the power play.
2 minutes for an elbow. Time for penalty, 16:04.
Now it's cleared into the Chicago zone. Seabrook picked it up, goes around the boards with it.
And your Coyotes are back.
Rivers trying to keep it in. Eventually he did. It rolled out in front as Schustrom's pass hit a skate. Then Anderson played it loose. Here's Doan a shot, and Anderson able to hang on. After Anderson appeared to have an opportunity to maybe freeze that, he went to play it and to put it right back into his own slot.
Yeah, he was trying to get that puck out of the area, and rather than just make the safe play and cover it up, he tried to get it out, and then it ended up hitting some skates in front, whether he fanned on it or not. But lots of traffic down in front, End up with the Shane Doan spin around that was blocked in front of Anderson, and Anderson a little bit of frustration showing there as he was trying to clear his crease with a little bit of a slash.
Now the draw, the Chicago zone. Barnaby cleared it loose up to the Phoenix end. Ballard up it to center ice. Schustrom now in over the line. Hawks again are going to have one player lurking back at the offensive blue line. They've only got 3 defenders in their own end. Here's a centering pass deflected wide by Reinprecht, and it's cleared to center. Barnaby couldn't quite reach it, though. Mara was in his way.
If you look at the Phoenix Coyote coaching staff behind the bench, they haven't seen this play yet. And Wayne Gretzky now has instructed one of his players to back off way outside the zone to his far blue line to protect that.
Here's Mara with a drive and a save by Anderson. Rebound is cleared. Back into the neutral zone. Barnaby poked it loose. Sharp chased it down. Cuts into the backhand, down to the forehand. Pulled down. A penalty. Is it a PS or just a penalty? No, a 2-minute infraction against the Coyotes.
Wayne Gretzky was really up on his bench there trying to figure out what was going on. He's kind of getting a chuckle out of that. He didn't really see what was going on, and the Blackhawks had an opportunity early in that penalty kill situation to spring that guy loose before the Coyotes kind of figured out what was going on, and they were right up on the boards. Wayne Gretzky was pointing at his defenseman to stay back on his own blue line. And the Blackhawks did end up getting an opportunity with Sharp to get in there, or Verbata to get in there, and was hauled down. And now Wayne Gretzky, a little bit befuddled of what was going on there, is going to take a breather and call his team's timeout. So that's kudos to Trent Yanni and the training or the coaching staff to throw that one at Wayne Gretzky.
It'll be 4 skaters aside now, with 2.5 minutes remaining in regulation time.
Now, Gretzky's got the board out, and Pat, I mean, I don't know, here's the situation. I'm just wondering what he would be drawn down there. It's a 4-on-4. Blackhawks will have an opportunity on the power play after that, but I don't think that's what Wayne Gretzky would be drawing out.
And I find that interesting because quite often you see Barry Smith or Rick Bowness, the guys who oftentimes run these huddles, or at least are doing the diagramming. So Gretz had something he wanted to make sure was understood, and
well,
the head coach and partial owner took charge.
Well, and if it's coming out of Wayne Gretzky's mind, I'm sure it's pretty good.
All right, face off to the left of Lenevue now. And here's the draw. Picked up by Calder on the far side. Deep slot to Bufflin. He fakes, then a long shot, and a save by Lenevue through a screen. Rebound picked up by Ballard. It to the near side. Ricci slides it back into the Hawk zone. Oh, Duncan Keith was trying to start out, and Bufflin took him out. Dustin Bufflin wasn't sure which way Keith was going, and they both zigged when they were going to zag, and an inadvertent hit.
Safe at second.
Poor Duncan Keith, he's sick. He's playing at less than 100%. This game's hard enough. All right, now Bufflin from his own end. And there goes Anderson to the bench. The Hawk penalty over. It's a 6-on-4 for Chicago as Bufflin with just over a minute left on the Phoenix penalty. Now Verbata from the near corner. Out to the line, Bell. Left it for Verbata. Routing Verbata to the top of the ring. Put it into the corner, then got it back. Now Sharp tried to center that, deflected to the crease. They score! It jumped away from Lenevue, and the Hawks and Kyle Calder able to poke it home. A power play goal for the Hawks. With 79 seconds remaining, they're one shot away.
They'll get one more kick at the can, as you mentioned. 1:19 to go here, and Kyle Calder narrows the gap to 1 with his 17th goal of the season. Some nice little tic-tac movement on the near boards between Sharp and Verbata. Sharp, the first time when he had the chance to pass it across, didn't see the opening, put it back to Verbata on the half board, spread things out a little bit more. Down to Patrick Sharp on the goal line. He throws a pass across to Kyle Calder, and it was deflected off the defenseman. I'm not quite sure who it was. Maybe Seidenberg in front of Lenevieux, and before he could get that rebound, Kyle Calder chipped it over his left pad. So here we go.
That's the 17th of the year for Calder and extends his scoring streak to 4 in a row. He's had 3 goals in his last 4 games and points in all of them. And the draw is taken by the Coyotes. McCulloch dumped it in. Here to the near side, then winds up back to the net. Scancher, son of a shot, good save on a stuff attempt from Nash. Now the Hawks come away with it. There goes Anderson to the bench. They dump it in. 6 attackers out there for Chicago. We're down to 55 seconds remaining. Back in the goal it goes. Centering pass at the side of the net. Then captured by Calder. He hacked at it. It bounced to Holmquist. Put it out to the line. Now it's held in. Bell looking for somewhere to go. Center to Holmquist. A shot blocked. He tried again. Ricci was in the way of that. Now it's held in by Seabrook at the far point. Along wrister. That's blocked by Rivers. He cleared it out of there, and a whistle on the play. A penalty against Phoenix, I believe, with half a minute remaining.
It's McCulloch who's going to go for tripping, and I didn't see it. It must have been right in front of the net. Calder was standing there the whole time, and I think he was tripped up from McCulloch, and he is not happy with this call, but you've got 28 seconds left. And I'm assuming, yeah, Trent Yanni now is calling his timeout, so he's going to get a chance. It's going to be a 6-on-4. Key faceoff coming up inside the zone to the left of Lenevieux.
And right in front of the Phoenix goal, McCulloch had leveled a Hawk player, so that was the reason for the call, a tripping infraction.
I think he might have kicked the feet out from underneath Kyle Calder, and that's why he ends up in the penalty box. But I guess this is the right way for this game to end. It's been a great game, a very entertaining game, a 1-goal game at this point. Anything could happen. Huge face-off coming up right now, and I think that
the old slew foot, Marty Lapointe out in front of the net, and he was
how
level.
do you question that?
All right, you sent it a big draw now to the left of Lenevieux. Ricci will go in there for Phoenix against Lapointe. And Lapointe got the draw to the far side, but Ricci arrives first, shot it for the open net. He hit the outside of the goal. And there'll be time for one rush up the ice for the Hawks. Down to 20 seconds remaining. Here comes Bell. Gets to center. Over the line to Holmquist on left wing. Now Verbata walks to the dot. Now walks in front, shoots. Oh, what a save by Lenevieux with the right pad. Rebound deflected to the Coyotes. They cleared it not out. Bell, 2 seconds. A long wrister is blocked. Phoenix wins. A thrilling hockey game, virtually from start to finish in Arizona tonight.
Well, Verbata had the one chance that the Blackhawks were looking for. He moved in off the near boards, cut into the middle of the ice, and had a good look at Lenevieux. And Lenevieux kicked out the right pad, and that's what you were looking for. You want that one golden opportunity. You move the puck to get yourself in that situation. It just didn't go.
1 goal each way in the third. Sanderson for the Coyotes turns into the game winner. Calder got a power play goal for the Hawks to bring him within 1. Troy, the Hawks outshoot Phoenix 18-14 in the third and 40-32 in the game. And this was a wonderfully entertaining hockey game tonight.
It was from start to finish. I mean, this was a solid 60-minute effort. You had everything. You had probably one of the best fights we'll see this season in Mark Bell and Josh Gratton going at it. And big hits all over the ice. Some great plays offensively. Some